Look down the middle, pass through California twirl. Look on the corner, clap your hands. Clap them knees to a left arm man. Come back on eight. I love to kiss and hold her tight. So till we done you for all night. Circle the line, the wind down. Like I said, if anybody's interested in learning to do this, we have a wonderful time all the time.
That comes from around here.
That bobcat came from around here?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No.
What did you do? Kill it and then stuff it?
Mounted it, yeah.
Man, it is pretty. Can I pet it?
Well,
See,
if
they're real
you
animals.
don't care to get bit, go ahead.
Real animals, but they're not. They had a field trip yesterday.
It's real.
I know it's real, but
It's
they're
not
going to
alive.
bite me. And them's rattlesnakes?
Rattlesnake and
I've
copperhead.
never really seen a rattlesnake. Which one's a
You want
rattlesnake?
to get a good picture of them?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I'm just going to over.
What are you actually getting ready to do with that thing, bud?
Huh? I thought you wanted to hold it.
Yeah, we'll hold it.
That's the rattlesnake.
You gonna actually get that thing out and hold it?
No.
Okay, all right now, bud.
Now the copperhead's back there.
What are you saying?
Go ahead, you'll be all right here. I've already checked with him. He ain't going to do nothing.
You asking?
That's a good shot there, Granville.
Let's see.
That's the
Now,
rattlesnake.
he's longer than this cage.
Is he longer than the cage?
Yeah, he's longer when he stretched it out.
That's the
Now,
rattlesnake.
there's you. Look in there. Look right here. This is where you get it. He's already started qualing up. Okay?
How close do they have to be to strike you?
Well,
It's about half their body length.
if that right there was quailed up, he'd probably. If that's quailed up, he'd strike you that far.
Okay, so like he is right now, how far could he? He has to actually be close enough to strike you, don't he?
Well, now,
I mean,
if he's crawling away like he was just then,
He's crawling
he
back.
could swap ends. He could swap ends and hit you anywhere he wants to. If he was going away from you, sometime they'll just like that.
Oh, they can be that fast.
They're that fast. I've had them just try it on me, but I know what they could do.
Are they pretty accurate with their strikes?
They'll get you every time.
Every time.
And that's the copperhead, right?
Yeah, back there.
Which of them shed its skin?
Huh?
Did one of them just recently shed its skin, you
Yeah,
said?
day before yesterday.
The copperhead or the rattlesnake?
rattlesnake. The copperhead done his about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is the most dangerous? The deadliest?
Well, now, I'm just speaking for myself. None of them don't worry me.
But for somebody like me. Well, I mean, which one would be the deadliest?
Well, if you was about a mile away.
But I mean, if the copperhead beat you and the rattlesnake beat you, which one would kill you the first?
Well, when a copperhead bites you, you usually swell up and burst.
Huh?
But when a rattlesnake bites you, it works on your nervous system and your respiratory system.
Oh, really?
So it wouldn't be no fun to have either one of them bite.
How long have you got to get to a doctor before you?
Well, honey, I'm not dressed properly for you.
Well, throw a skin on you.
Yeah, let her put on the bird.
Granville, I've seen bear skins, and is that a bobcat in there?
It's a bobcat and a wolf hide.
And is this stuff that you've done?
Yeah, that's a cake. I bought that cake. A headdress.
Wow.
Headdress.
Looks like a polar bear.
That's wolf. It comes from Alaska.
A wolf from Alaska. Well, now, you was telling me a while ago, when you was 9 years old, you used to go out in the woods.
Yeah.
And just take, you had what now with you?
Had a knife and a hatchet. That's all I had.
And how long would you stay out there?
Sometimes a week or two, just for myself.
What'd you eat?
Off the land. There are all kinds of stuff out there to eat.
Like what?
Squirrels, birds. Of course, I kind of learned about killing birds, but I was eating.
Oh, well,
A lot of roots and berries, leaves, wild onions, and dandelion greens.
so
Those, you know what nettleweed is, don't you?
well, I didn't. You told me what it was, or I wouldn't know.
Well, I've eaten a lot of them. They're as good for you as spinach.
Well, so you never did go hungry out there too much.
No, I always come back and gain weight.
Well, you was mentioning too, you've got a little place up on the mountain there, and you see a few bears. Share some of that with us.
Every time me and my wife goes up there. About 3 weeks ago, there's 3 of them. That's just every time, but this is the last time.
Well, you said you'd seen some mountain lions too.
Well, they seen them. I didn't see particularly that right then, but I've seen them, but not that one. James Aggs, he's seen them went up there at my place. And my grandson's wife seen that down there. And Renee, when she come in there screaming.
A lot of people are scared of rattlesnakes. What would you tell those people about rattlesnakes, if you could tell them?
Leave them for me.
What do you do with them?
Well, I eat them, make belts and hat bands. And other than that, I just take care of them. I check them every now and then. I check a den, which I've got dens all the way from here to Georgia. I can go anytime I want to and get rattlesnakes or copperheads in the morning.
I noticed you had a couple over there with you today. Where'd you catch those at?
Up on the mountain.
On Pine Mountain?
Yeah, right there.
Well,
I'll tell you where the dens are. I have took people with me to promise they'd never go back and try to kill them. And some of them went back and killed them, in one den. So they never did go back with me no more.
Well, a lot of people are scared of rattlesnakes, scared they're going to attack them. Do rattlesnakes attack people?
No. All a rattlesnake does is defend itself. If you step on one or coming toward him and he thinks you're going to step on him, he'll go bite you. Other than that, you could work. If he's right over there, you could work all day right here, and you wouldn't have to worry about him coming over here.
He'd just sit there and wouldn't bother you as long as you wouldn't bother him.
He'll not come over to where you want.
Well, I know you've handled a lot of rattlesnakes in your day. You was on television locally a whole lot. How many times have you been bit by rattlesnakes?
I'm not bragging, but I never have been bit.
Never been bit?
Never been bit.
Wow.
That'd take the fun out of it, I think.
I guess it would, buddy. I guess it would.
No, I want you to know that I don't brag about it.
Because it could happen.
Each time you catch one, you're close.
Yeah.
It gets real close, especially when you're climbing under a rock or on the side of a cliff or holding on and getting ready to get by the tail or something to get it out where you can get a hold of it to put it in the sack.
Mm-hmm. Well, another thing I've been told is that you know how to hike in the hills pretty good. A fella told me he started out hiking with you in Jenkins, and it wasn't no time at all. You had him in Clintwood. Now, how do you do that?
That's no problem.
How come?
Well, it's easy walking. I've went a lot of times across the mountain, and people on horseback. Of course, it ain't hard to outwalk a horse when you're on the mountain trail.
Oh, that's something else. I guess that mountain separates Virginia and Kentucky. Kind of tricks people on how close we are, don't it?
Yeah, you can be in both places at once.
Straddle the line.
Yeah.
Well, we had a lot of talk.
When I was real young, when I was growing up, it must have been 10 or 11 then, I'd walk across the mountain over there on the other side of Camp Jenkins.
Yeah.
To trading. They had a big trading ground where everybody from all over the mountain would come in there and trade anything, knives, anything they had, they'd be there. I used to do that in the hours by myself.
Goodness gracious. Well, have you had any close encounters out in the woods with any animals?
Yeah, there's I have a lot of stuff. That's a complete another story.
Well, I got some time.
Well, there's one day I was in the woods and I seen these bear tracks. So, me, I want to see where that bear went.
Naturally.
So, I took up its trail, went way around the mountain. After, probably half hour or so, I finally got sight of it. He was digging in an old rotten log, eating grubs and stuff. And I got within probably about 8 feet, 7 or 8. It wasn't no further than that. And I took its picture. And he was had his head down, digging. And when I snapped that camera, within a blink of an eye, he was on me.
Oh,
He
no.
made one swipe, and I felt the wind on my legs. That's how close he was. He made one big woof, and he went on down the mountain. And I'm glad he just took that one woof.
So
But that would have been my fault, 100%.
how come?
I shouldn't have never got that close on him
Charlie,
Might
and
have started
started
him.
him
Yeah,
like
scared
that.
him a little
When
bit.
that camera clear, I've got the picture.
I bet you do.
It's not a bit wise to do that. Slip up on a bear and startle it like that. Now he could kill me right there.
The little boy raised his hand like they told him.
And there's another time I tracked one and finally got sight of him. I seen him go over a bank. So I got about halfway down that bank.
Came back a little while later.
That bank's probably about 30 feet, And when I got about halfway down there, I looked, I seen him laying down there waiting on me. He was actually waiting on me. So I took a picture of him laying there. Here, you can see it, black. So I eased back up and got out of there.
Son said you've been out there twice.
Had a trap set for you.
I
Sounds
mean,
like.
that would have been another stupid thing, I don't advise nobody to do that.
You don't do that no more.
I've
do you?
already done it, so no one else don't try it.
Well, I understand too that you've been known to set up motion detecting cameras. Have you ever gotten any good shots like that?
I haven't got one of those cameras.
Oh, you
but
don't
a friend of mine's got one.
A friend's got one.
And she gets Jerry Miller and Judy. They get pictures of bears and deer and stuff. But I've got a whole bunch of camcorder pictures,
A lot of people ask me.
They say that they got a machine now that they can take pictures off of a camcorder. I don't know. I haven't seen one.
Like a still picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can.
Some of these days I'm going to get a bunch.
Well, how about bears and climbing trees? You was telling me something interesting
They
about
can
that.
run. They can run. A black bear can run up a tree just like a squirrel.
That's
That
unbelievable.
quick.
Even the
take
big
bigger steps.
300 and 400 pound bears can get up in there?
Well, I haven't. Mostly of them is about 300.
300.
I haven't seen them great old big ones do that, but they can still climb. But I'm talking about one that's just,
Well, Granville, if somebody's out in the woods and they see a bear, what should they do? Should they run? Should they stay? Should they holler?
If they see a bear, just start making noise and going the other way.
That's all you got to do.
I mean, don't run. That's the worst thing you can do is run.
Why is that?
Well, they like to chase things. Just like a mountain lion. If you run from one, you're caught in the 3 or 4 bounds.
We can't outrun a bear.
Well, if you can run about 35 and 40 miles an hour.
40 miles
If you
an
run
hour.
any faster than that, you probably get out.
Well, I don't think we can run faster than
We
that.
took pictures from the kitchen window in the cabin, and by the time we got from the kitchen window to the bedroom window, it was already going down in the orchard. And yet they look like they're in slow motion.
They look like they're not
Big
moving,
strides,
but big long strides. And when they get
and they go fast.
in a hurry, you can imagine how them adds up.
Yeah. Oh,
It's truly amazing. You can be able to see them one across the orchard somewhere and turn your head. And time you look back, they're usually gone.
We've learned a lot from up the cabin, watching
I mean, they're right there, stayed right there with us. I mean, just outside the cabin.
we're talking to Mountain Man Granville Burke. Granville, does it snow a little bit quicker up on the mountain than it does in the valleys?
There's always more snow up there. It can be clear as day up here, and there'd be 6 inches of snow up there.
Goodness gracious.
And it's pretty no matter how. I don't care if it's raining, storming. It's prettier up there in any weather.
Well, there's another animal in the mountains that many people have never seen. I've never seen one. We mentioned a while ago, is the mountain lion. Tell us a little bit about the mountain lion in the hills here in Kentucky.
Well, they're around. There are a lot of them around. But they're so secretive that you very seldom get to see one. They put them in the mountains here to the deer population, thin them down.
Well, if they eat deer, they've basically got about an endless supply of food, don't they?
They got an endless supply. Of course, they eat smaller mammals, but their deer is their main diet.
Well, do they hibernate?
No,
They're always active.
they're always. They just, if it's real bad, they don't. If it's a storming out, they find shelter. They don't like to get wet, but it don't bother them if they do.
Well, you also said that the drought had an effect on the animals this year.
It's real critical, and it's going to get worse. The bear and the deer and the squirrels, everything is looking for water. I've seen more squirrels, gray squirrels, on the road dead than I've ever in my life. And I've seen a lot of them crossing the road in front of me, I haven't hit one, but so much traffic. Their odds are pretty small. I mean, that's all the way, all around here and toward Elkhorn, all down through there, you see gray squirrels and coons dead.
That's terrible. That's terrible. We are talking to the Mountain Man Granville Burke. Granville, you say you've been out, 2 or 3 weeks at a time in the woods, no problems? How long could you just survive out there, period?
I could go right now with I'd rather have my tomahawk with me. That's all I need when I got on. I could just go.
Well, how would you catch your animals? You said traps?
I'd catch snares, deadfalls, and with my hands.
How about wintertime when it got real cold?
Well, I'd be prepared. See, if you're in a remote area like that, in the wintertime, in the summer, all through summer, you gather these animals and make jerky out of them so you can carry it around with you for a year at a time. Still be good.
Like they did in the old days.
Yeah.
That's what they used to do.
Yeah. And parched corn. You can parch your corn, a lot of nuts and everything. You can dry them.
How about keeping warm? Build fires?
No problem.
No problem.
No problem. I can build fires just like this fire behind me. I don't never use no matches. I use flint and steel. I can do it that way or with a bowl or friction, you know.
So you got your fire, you have your animals, you'd already have them, you'd be ready. You'd be
I'll
prepared.
be ready for winter.
Yeah. Well, one other thing I was wanting to talk to you about was your rattlesnakes. I know that you've had quite a few of them at a time. What's the most rattlesnakes that you've ever?
I don't even remember. I don't remember, but
Would it be 5?
How many have I had?
27 one time in Indiana. We lived in Indiana.
Yeah.
27?
That's just in there. Then I've had more down
And
here.
the babies was that you took back to the woods after they.
Now there's one year. Now I got pictures of it. One year, I took back 150 rattlesnakes.
Little babies.
Wow. I kept them a little while.
Goodness gracious.
150, and I didn't go out there and just throw them out of the woods. I took them to different dens where I know there's plenty of ground squirrels and stuff for them to survive.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just go out there and throw one out in the woods. I mean, they might not be nothing around there, but where I put them, they got a good chance.
That's good. I wouldn't have thought about that. I just thought if you just
No,
set one
you don't
free,
do
it'd be
that.
okay, but they need a little bit of help, don't they?
No, even black snakes. Me and my wife, we took them to remote areas and got pictures of us turning them loose. There's one though, I turned him loose, he's big. He started up this holler, and I watched it. It made a big circle and come right back to the road. And went across the road and up a tree. I never could understand that. I got a picture of him actually climbing that tree after making it. If I was caged up, but if they turned me loose, I'd take off.
Oh gosh.
But it's amazing. And a black snake can go anywhere it wants to. It can go up a brick wall. These brick homes? They can go up that wall just like wasn't that.
I see them climb trees and go right around.
Yeah. Well, we had one big tree. It's about like that. That snake climbed the underside of that tree.
It sure did.
Can you imagine climbing the underside?
No, I can't.
It shocked us all. We just stood there and
That's
stared.
defying gravity, ain't it?
I'm going to tell you a little story about a fella that he thought he was real fast.
Yeah.
Where I worked. So he said he wanted to come out the house and see. We usually have black snakes running loose to catch mice and stuff. And there's one particular stayed around outside all the time. You go out there and see it anytime. And so he come out one evening.
Black snake.
Yeah, big old black snake. Probably about 6 foot, 6.5 foot. Anyhow, I said, Wayne, now that snake is going to bite you. Nah, I'm too fast for it, he said. I'm too fast for it. I said, I'm telling you right now, he's going to get you. And he done that, and that thing got him with a faint. I mean, got him. And he had latched on, and he started screaming. This is a man. He's screaming and hollering and everything. And finally, last when it come off, he took skin with it. Blood going everywhere. I said, now I told you that thing's going to bite you. I didn't know it was that fast. Well, I just told you. So anyhow, hey, that might have been that one that went up that tree.
Well, why do some people like black snakes? You said they eat mice. Is that the reason? Or?
A lot of these old timers, they kept black snakes around in their corn cribs and everything to catch mice. A mouse can destroy a lot of animal food, and a lot of people food too.
Hell, man.
But you could go in any time of these corn cribs, they'd have black snakes in them. That's when I get a big black snake, I usually take it up on the mountain, put it in the barn. There are a lot of field mice up there.
And obviously a black snake's not poisonous, so if
No.
you get bit by one, you'll probably live.
Now I'm gonna tell you this little story about a black snake. Now, I'm talking, is that long? Probably 3 feet. Now, that's not big to what they get. This particular black snake, I seen it go across the road and start up a bank, and I jumped out and caught it. Well, I run about near that thing from the truck. Okay, I caught it. The time I got from there back to the truck to get a sack, he'd already wrapped around my arm. It cut the circulation off. I like to never got that snake off. I thought it was going to have to cut it. I've never seen a snake that strong. So anyhow, I got my sack, and I thought I was going to have to cut it, but I finally at last got a hold of it and forced it. I'm talking about a little snake.
I knew pythons.
And my arm hurt for a week after that, where it cut off the circulation.
Yeah.
Now, I've played with them big 6-foot rattlesnakes, black snakes. Wrap them around my neck. Now, suppose I'd wrap that one around my neck. I'd be in trouble.
Yeah, that might have been the last thing you ever done.
But I've had a lot of them to wrap around my arm and body and with me holding.
Yeah.
But this was a small snake. And buddy, it put the hurt on my arm. But I kept it, and I think that's the same one. It wasn't very big, and this fellow told me he had a boy that loved to play with black snakes. I said, I've got one that he wouldn't want to play with. I kept it for a long time. He said, he ain't afraid of none of them. I said, you bring him out the house. We'll see what he does with this little black snake. So he come out. This boy was probably about 15 years old, 14 or 15. So I said, are you the one that likes to play with the black snake? Yeah, I'll pick any of them up. So I opened the cage. I said, go ahead, Big. He reached his arm down there and it grabbed him. Now this is a 14, 15-year-old boy. He started screaming and hollering. That thing got him, and where they go? So he finally got it off of him.
Yeah.
And his dad standing there. I said, what'd you say? You like to play with the black snake? I don't want nothing to do with them no more. Now, if a snake this size had that much strength, what would one of them 6.5 foot do?
Enough to kill you.
But I've never seen one that strong. I mean, it's just something about it. You know how you get freak of nature or something?
Yeah.
I think that's probably because Buddy, when he reached his hand down in there, it actually come at him and got him.
Did it bite him or just wrap around him?
It bit him.
And then
it
wrapped
had a
around
hold of him and wrapped around him. That's why he was screaming and everything.
Well, you told me.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Anyhow, I could go on like this all day and night. I could tell you things. I could tell you things that make you hair stand.
Oh, I believe you. I went to State Mountain a year and a half.
Now I'm talking about things that's real.
You told me, Granville, about a snake that plays dead. And I didn't believe you, but you told me there really was a snake that'll play dead.
It's that blowing viper. They call it a blowing
And
viper.
ran up like a cobra.
Yeah. It's a hog-nosed snake, what it is.
Mm-hmm.
They'll stand up. They're different colors. Some of them brown, some of them black and white. And they'll stand up just like a cobra when you run up on them. And they'll actually stand up like that and spread themselves like a cobra and strike you. They just do like that. They never bite you. But they'll, they scare things like that. And when it sees that it can't bluff you, all it wants you to go into a fit and play dead.
Go belly up?
Yeah.
Actually goes belly up.
Actually goes belly up. It'll walk around there and then its mouth fly open, its tongue come out.
Ah,
And you can pick it up, it's limber as a rag.
huh.
And you can put it back down there and stand back a little bit. And when he comes to, you just start toward him and he'll flip back over on his back. You seen it in that movie, didn't you?
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
And you can hear them things hiss. You can hear them hiss from here, from over yonder.
So are they located here in the
Now, I mean,
mountains?
they actually hiss.
Do they blow something at you?
No, they just hiss. And they're real loud.
Are they here in the mountains, Granville?
Yeah.
They're located here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There used to be a lot of them, just like the green snake. These mountains and creeks and everything had all kinds of green snakes. Now, you very seldom even see one. I went down there to Smokers, where they got that big eagle, them eagles.
Yeah.
And I was filming them eagles. And believe it or not, one of them green snakes come right around that wall right in front of me. And I got its picture. It's on the outside of that cage. I mean, you've seen green snakes.
Yeah.
Now, they used to be plentiful,
Used
but
to.
they're not now.
No, you don't see them no more.
Let me tell you one story.
Go right ahead.
I mean, I could go on, but there's no use taking up everybody's time.
You're not doing
But I could tell you things. Well, anyhow, and I praise the Lord that He's protected me. I want that to be understood.
I agree.
I was going to visit one of my rattlesnake dens. So I climbed this big cliff. So I went around this big rock. It must have been 3 or 4 foot tall. Big rock. I mean, and just as I started to step in front of that rock, something told me to get back. I mean, I never heard nothing, but something inside told me to get back. And when I jerked my leg back, part of that rock, a big slider, fell right over where I was been. Nobody would have never found me where I was. And when it went over, I just praise the Lord. There's a bat flew out, and there's more than one. But anyhow, one of them got his foot caught. That big rock pinned it to the ground. So I got me a big pole. The thing weighed about 600 pounds. Every bit of it, It took a big pole, and I raised that up just enough so that bat could fly away.
That could have been you under that rock.
I mean, I don't know, just something told me.
Yeah, instinct.
Yeah, just like this, and something said jerk back, and I never questioned it.
So you're not only the mountain man, you're the lucky mountain man.
I'm very fortunate.
Very fortunate and lucky.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is that called cancer on a tree? And big
No,
knot?
that's just a big old burrow.
I thought something like cancer on a tree.
Well, I'd say that
Big old
something's
knot.
caused it, yeah.
Okay.
There's one out yonder, not that big. It's out there, but the tunnel, you look, if you're at the tunnel, just look up there and you see it on a tree. That'd make a beautiful bow.
It would.
About that size.
Well, Granville Burke, please tell us your full name, if you would.
Now, let me tell that last.
Okay.
I tell you, anybody that's interested, I could tell this all day and night.
And not tell the same story.
There's
No,
people
not tell the
interested.
same story.
Granville. There's people interested.
And what I tell you is the truth. And I've got there's one. I'm going to tell you one more. Then I'm going to get off.
Oh, you're doing good,
I
buddy.
can just keep going.
Well, I'm glad you can.
This one fella went with me rattlesnake hunting.
Can you tell us who it was?
Well, he probably wouldn't care.
Okay.
Lee Reeves.
Okay.
But we went to this big mountain, big rock bar. So he went for as he wanted to go. So I went on up to where my rattlesnake den was. So went up there, it probably took me, I'd probably gone 2 hours or more. So in the meantime, while I was up there, there's a rattlesnake under this big rock, right on the edge of a cliff. So I crawled back under there. Well, it wasn't very far. I reached back in there, and about the time I started to get that snake, that rock started falling. And I had to jump sideways, and there was a piece of a snag sticking out over that cliff. And I jumped sideways and hung on to that thing. Now this is right in the air. That stump's probably still there. So that rock went over and stopped. But when it went over, it left just enough in the back where I still got the snake. Anyhow, I caught that snake. Now this is a good one. I caught that snake, put it in a bag, and then I went on around where I know some more was. I think I had about 3 or 4 in this sack. So going back down this rock bar, I stepped on a rock this big. Is this big? It wasn't real thick, but it was probably like that. That big. I got on that thing and it started scooting down that mountain. And here I was on top of that rock, just like riding a ski board, holding up this rattlesnake and my snake stick, going through there, and my partner down there seen me a-coming, and he jumped behind a tree, scared to death. It was knocking down little bushes and little trees and stuff. And when I seen that thing start for a big tree, I know that I better do something. So I jumped off that thing with that rattlesnake still in my hands. And when it stopped, he started hollering and he was scared to death, thought I was dead. He said, "Granville, are you all right? Granville, are you all right?" I said, "Yeah, Red, I'm all right. I just rode it just to this big tree." When you see him, get him to tell you about it.
Okay, we'll see. We'll match the stories up then.
See how near he come, but he didn't go all the way with me.
Why didn't you let go of those rattlers, Granville?
No, sir.
You worked too
That's
hard.
just like when I was coming down Pine Mountain, above Whitesboro.
Yeah.
I was coming down through there, I just had some rattlesnakes. Just visited one of my rattlesnake den and had some rattlesnakes in a bag. And I had them on the dashboard, in a sack. And my truck caught on fire. Now this was right in one of them curves. It just went poof. And all at once the motor died. And all at once smoke coming out. So I stopped. And time I went around to raise the hood, when I raised that hood, that whole thing was in flames. First thing I done was got my rattlesnakes. Then I got a fire extinguisher, used it up. Then I had some water and I poured it on there and it's still going. It burned all of those vacuum hoses and the whole thing out.
Crickets.
So I called Grant Taggett. He brought his roll back over there. Now this is right in the curve, right? Mine's wonderful cars at the Appalachia. Anyhow, we went up in the woods down there from his junkyard and got a wire harness, all those lines, and put it back on that truck and it was running before the day was out. Now that's, praise the Lord.
Mercy, mercy.
Now what me a talking, I could keep going. Now you ask me a question.
I just going to ask you what your full name was.
Granville Eagerly Orderly Thorpe Everly Burke.
And how did you get such a fine name?
My dad gave that to me. I don't know where he was mad at me or what.
And that's a few moments with Granville Burke, the Mountain Man. Granville.
We'll continue later.
That's right, buddy. Thank you so much.
Really, I could tell you, I've got a lot of stories. I mean, they're all
You got
true.
some good ones too.
But when you see Lee